Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the April meeting of the Commission on Aging. Good to see everybody. Thanks for all joining us. First piece of sad news, Kathleen McDermott is not going to be joining us. She's decided to resign from the commission. So I've advised Jamie Stevenson of that. And so to make a long story short, we will ask the Democratic Town Committee to find us a good replacement for her. So I want to thank her at the start of this meeting for her service, and we'll keep everyone posted. Thanks to Peter, last week we were able to update our town website. But I have noticed that many of us are in a position where, because of Rona, our terms have expired. So I will be working with Jamie and other folks at Town Hall to get us going. So just that quick update to start the meeting. And I'm looking and I'm counting. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just me. So we are not in a position of a quorum just yet. Maybe others will join us. So I'm going to skip the minutes for the moment and move on. And I also got a note from Beth that she's tied up with something. Oh, Beth, you there? Nope, I heard something, but it wasn't Beth, I guess. Beth may be, Beth may be joining us a little bit late, unless she's here and I can't see on the screen that she is. So long story short, I'll start with Allie first, if that's okay with you, Allie, and get a human services report.
Of course. Good morning. Nice to see you guys. So things have calmed down from the human service perspective of the involvement with the vaccines. We were able to help the health department schedule over 1,000 people over 65 for their vaccines. So we're all coming up for air now. So there's ample places that people can get vaccines. As everyone probably knows, anyone over the age of 16 right now in Connecticut is eligible. And any Darien resident that's over 65 or homebound can still call the Human Services Department and we will schedule them. So far, we've done 20 homebound individuals and we have, I think, 6 more that we're doing tomorrow. So it's working out very well. The renters rebate program, it's that time of year. We're about to start that. Cynthia Hall is going to take over that program because Diane Barston had been doing that for us. And as you may or may not know, she left for a full-time job, unfortunately. So anyone 65 or over or who is on Social Security disability and meets the income guidelines, for a single person, it's $37,600, and for a couple, it's $45,880. We will start accepting those applications on March 17th and go until September 30th. Other than that, I don't think I have anything new, although for energy assistance, this is unusual. The state has extended the guidelines because I assume that means that they have extra money, because it turns out a lot of people have not been applying or asking for assistance. I think it has to do with the shut-off moratorium, that people are not feeling the pressure for their utility or heating bills. So the state has actually extended the deadlines for oil heated homes till May 20th, and then for utility heated homes till June 15th. And the craziest thing is that they waived the asset limit, which was always a big deal. And that's why a lot of our clients would not be eligible, particularly our seniors, because they might have, they have assets, IRAs, whatnot. There's no asset limit right now in the state of Connecticut for the energy assistance program, which I've never heard of before. So anyway, so that is continuing. And other than that, I don't have anything new to report.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Peter.
What's the status at Royal? Are all of the apartments full now, or can you give us an update on that?
Yes, the last I heard, which is probably about a month ago, I had asked Crystal, who's the property manager, and they were full. They were still taking names for the wait list, though, for all 3 tiers. That was about a month ago, so things might have changed. But yes, last I heard, they were full. And all the residents who are living there are just loving it. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And the apartments are, I went in once and I was so impressed. It's even nicer than I thought. I mean, really wide, all handicap accessible bathrooms. It's just, I think it's stunning. So far, all those people who moved in have been very happy, which is wonderful, of course.
Awesome. Thank you, Allie. Any other questions for Allie? Hearing none, thank you so much. And Beth's not with us yet, so I'll move on to old business. And thankfully, we have Peter here to give us a fantastic legislative update and probably an AARP update as well. Peter, the floor is yours.
Okay, Joe. Yeah, I shared with Joe yesterday. I got an update yesterday from the folks in Hartford, AARP. And there are three, I think, very significant bills that AAR is paying attention to and that are really now coming out. The first one is House Bill 6442, and that's equal access to broadband. Um, and that's going to be a very important one because really what it's going to do, we hope it's going to do, it's going to set us up in the future like we were set up in the past. You know, in the past we had POTS, plain old telephone service, which essentially mandated universal service at very reasonable cost to all consumers. And now now there's an awareness and understanding that broadband is just as important as telephone service was back then. And we've got to move the legislature to provide some potential protection and coverage. So that's an important bill. The second one is HB 526, which is an act concerning electrical suppliers. And that one, again, is finally coming out, and it will end the practice. It will end the practice of suppliers automatically renewing residential customer contracts. And again, the state of Connecticut has the third highest electric bills in the country because of some of the things that have occurred over the years involving third-party suppliers. And so this is a bill I think that's going to roll back some of those bad practices that have come into play. And then the third one is a Senate bill, and it's Senate Bill 1030, Senate Bill 1030. It's the act concerning nursing homes. And that is so important. And among other things, the bill would require nursing homes to stockpile protective equipment. It will require nursing homes to improve infection control practices. It will require nursing homes and other long-term care settings to be included in our state's emergency resources planning. Staffing levels will be increased from 1.9 hours right now per patient per day to about 4 hours. I took a look. I read last night through the 11 pages of the bill, and it's really interesting because again, in one of the bill's recommendations is the administrative head of each long-term care facility shall ensure that at least one staff member during each shift is licensed or certified to start an intravenous. And that hasn't been the case up till now. And again, one can think, I mean, in my mind, this is really elementary that we ought to have this. And then, of course, the fixed cameras in nursing rooms. Again, for some reason, this bill says it would allow nonverbal residents to install cameras in nursing rooms. And we say, well, that's a start, but it really should be all. It shouldn't necessarily be nonverbal. In fact, it just defies common sense in my mind because you really want verbal residents to have the ability to communicate. So these are important. There's 7 weeks left, and you know, our town is focused a lot, of course, on housing issues and things like that. And so there's a whole stew of legislation. Lamont's executive powers, I believe, ends on May the 20th. And so there's a lot of back and forth going on. But the important thing is that there are bills that affect seniors that are now in process, have been sorted out, and are coming along. And again, I would encourage us and our viewers to really focus on these, pay attention to these, and where there's a call for action from AARP or others to just go ahead and do that. Just go ahead and do that. Any questions? I hope not. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it at that, Joe. Again, our 200th anniversary celebration is moving forward. You'll be hearing more from the town, from the museum, and the Darien Library again is continuing to its programs. I should mention that this year so far, we have processed face-to-face or mask-to-mask at least 300 at this point in time, 300 tax aids, which I think is amazing. It really is. Yeah, 2 years ago we had 1,100, but we have only 300. But we're doing more and more where people can come and drop off their documents, and we will take it and it will go to a counselor who will then engage with that person either electronically or over the phone and finish those documents and either file them electronically or bring them back to the library where you can pick it up. It's so important. Every slot from now until the middle of May is filled. And so again, it's an important program, and thanks to Aarp, thanks to VITA, and thanks to the Darien Library, it's again something that's important. You know, and again, just the human interest is just amazing to me. Like, we have a practice that again, because you can't have too many people in the library still at the same time. So we ask people who wait in their cars, and I will call them and say, here's your appointment, are you here? Well, guess what, folks? A lot of those people aren't driving up, they're coming by bus, for example. So they got no place to wait in their car. Fortunately, with the warmer weather now, they can sit outside. And again, thanks to the great staff of the library, we can, depending on the person's age and lack of abilities, we can even sneak them in maybe and park them somewhere until we orchestrate that timing. So it's a busy but good program.
Thank you, Peter. I'll add to Peter's legislative report. We had a discussion probably 2 or 3 years ago about aid in dying legislation, known by opponents as physician-assisted suicide. And the commission chose not to take a position on that because we had a very split opinion. However, back about 6 weeks ago, in my own capacity, I made that very clear during my testimony. I testified on this bill, and this bill, for the first time in 14 years, has advanced past committee stage. And so as a result, if you want to be heard, pro or con, on the aid in dying legislation, you may wish to contact your representatives and or the governor relating to your feelings on this question. And just wanted to make sure of that, because of a lot of these bills, of this bill especially, will impact seniors, especially seniors with ALS or other things which cause them to suffer what I call existential suffering. So the long story short is that that's going forward, and the question will be whether it will be passed or not is still up in the air. But it's important for folks to know about that legislation as well. I see a caller joined us, caller 00. Can you tell who joined in?
It's Jerry, Genevieve.
Awesome, Jerry. Thanks for being here, because with your presence so critical, we can return to our minutes from the March meeting of the Commission on Aging. We now have a quorum. Does anyone have any questions or changes to those minutes? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the March meeting? Thank you, Carla. Second. Thank you, Francis. All in favor? Aye, thank you all. Appreciate the hands. And so I'll go back to old business. Is there other old business to discuss? I'm going to turn it then over to Gina. Gina, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Hi, home in Darien is doing well. I want to remind everybody, if you would like to receive our communications via email, to call us, let us know your email address. We send out a regular monthly calendar of events that shares all the virtual opportunities that are now available, and we send out a monthly blog. Yesterday, we blogged about social media and about how to get training on that for people. And there was a large response, which we were really pleased about. But that makes me think that, people want to get online, they want to do more, and they want to learn how to do it. So let us know if you need assistance with that. Also, we have an annual appeal coming up soon, so people will be seeing in their mailbox our Out and About newsletter, which is also our 2020 annual report, which was a very successful year regardless of the pandemic. People needed our services more than ever. And we are continuing to provide transportation, to do grocery shopping, and other important services we're giving to seniors. So if anybody needs anything, please contact us at Home in Darien.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gina. Any questions for Gina? Hearing none. So what I'm going to do is, I don't see Beth back yet. And so is there any new business of the Commission on Aging?
Joe, it's Jerry.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry.
Okay, so I'm part of the Darien, St. John's and Darien, the caring committee. And I spoke with Colleen Davenport, who runs it. And I'm able to tell you that if there are any parishioners in St. John's Church that need anything, driving, visits, phone calls, we would be happy to, follow through with any of the services also. So I just wanted to let all of you know that St. John's, we have a new pastor, Monsignor Powers, and, at Easter, they sent out baskets to some of the parishioners, and they have a phone committee. So I just thought you'd like to know for your records that St. John's is doing that now. We've done it, but it kind of quieted down for a while, and Colleen Davenport took it over, and, it's going well now.
That's great news. I mean, our churches and our other charities do so much good work in Darien, so it's great to hear when we hear about seniors being cared for within their religious community. So I'm very glad to hear that, Jerry. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, because I know that Gina is doing a magnificent job with all the driving and the phone calls also. But I think, if we all get on the bandwagon with all these people, the seniors that are isolated like this, it just means so much to all of them.
I absolutely agree.
Okay.
Jerry,
Awesome.
can I?
You rock, Jerry. Thank you so much for that. Is there other new business?
I just wanted to tell Jerry that if she needs my help, that I may be able to help her.
Oh, yeah. Is that Carla?
Yes.
Yep, that's Carla.
Carla, Carla, if you call Rose in the office there in the rectory.
Yep, Rose, yep.
And get Colleen's number or her email, you could give her your name, because they can use help with anything, believe me. It's
okay, Jerry.
very much needed right now.
Okay, great.
That would be great.
Awesome. And I encourage everyone out there to contact either their religious organization or a charity or whatever else they feel drawn to in order to pitch in during this continuing difficult time. And wow, that Jerry, you saved us, because Beth Paris just showed up to give us her report. Beth, you are up.
Can I just say one thing quickly? I just wanted to echo Jerry's comments about at-home driving people, and Gina was helping. We worked very closely to get seniors to their vaccine appointments, and Gina and Jane were just working overtime, and it was just wonderful to be able to get them there. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Allie. Great. And thanks again, Gina, and all the folks at Home in Darien. And of course, over to Beth, who's doing so much good yeoman's work down in her neck of the woods. Beth, what you got for us on your report?
Sorry to be late. Unfortunately couldn't be helped. We are basically looking at reopening the week of June 7th. It will be by appointment or by reservation. It will be very, very slow and deliberate for a period of time, since we're still following CDC requirements. I know that the governor is opening everything up, but our restrictions are a little bit different than that, so we have to governor. And one of the reasons to go slow is so that we work out all the kinks and make sure that we're providing a very, very safe environment. We're also going over things with legal about what we're able to ask folks and what we're able to get information on. There will be a waiver that our lawyers looking at now that everybody will have to sign at least once to participate indoors. There's going to be various things that folks have to follow. I'm writing a reopening plan right now. We are having our first outdoor program on Friday. In May and June, we have 2 a month, which are mostly musical entertainments. There's other activities that we're looking at playing outside as well, because the summer, the spring and the summer are going to be amenable to be able to doing that. So there's more to come. With a constant contact call every Friday will still be that resource that helps us reach as many people as possible. We are getting fabulous participation through that. I mean, in terms of calling and communicating with people. The lunch is still for Darien residents only. We're averaging 40 to 45 meals a day. At these bigger programs up to 70 or 80. So that's the last thing that will probably come inside is dining. We're still trying to figure out how to do that safely, since folks aren't part of the same cohort and you have to take your mask off to eat. So we're thinking the drive-through lunch will go on for quite a while yet until we can figure that out or guidance changes in some way. We are looking at putting a survey out as well for participation and to get some information from our folks that are regular attenders of the center. My counterpart in Stanford had sent out a survey that asked if people were guaranteed, couldn't be guaranteed first, if folks were all vaccinated that were coming back, how many of them would come back into their center, and that came out to about 13%. But when the question was asked if we could guarantee everybody was vaccinated, that number went to 88%. So, most folks, want to make sure that others are vaccinated, but that is actually a question we cannot So we do have to, however, make sure all of our instructors, all of our vendors that are going to be participating with our program, because that's a private thing, we can ask them to be vaccinated or they can't come back in and they can't teach. So, but we can't ask the seniors specifically. So that's one of the reasons why we're doing the waiver. So we still got a year of, a lot of intensity to go, a lot of changes. The virtual programs are going very well. We have a lot of participants now, people that are, that are really savvy, aren't afraid of using Zoom anymore. So that's really a great thing. And as we move forward, we will continue with virtual programming. When we're fully opened, we probably will use virtual programming for like evening programs, for caregiver education programs and things like that. And also, there's no reason to ever cancel anything if we can do it on Zoom. So even actually during the winter when we had snow, that one storm, we did our Zoom from home. So so it is a wonderful tool, and more people are going to be equipped with it. And we are actually looking for instructors now too, so that when we do reopen in a bigger way, we start to really make sure that everybody knows how to use technology, because the chances of either having this kind of incident or situation again are high. And also, just in general, technology is not going away. So there's always something to get from, a situation that may have just appeared negative to begin with, but there are positives that come out of it. So we have to also change, in a sense, the way that we do business. So we will probably always be, in a virtual center as well as an open center. So I'm really shooting for the open center because we miss everybody. It's amazing how many people we have. I think 35 people that will stay on Friday, that we have to social distance and they have to mask even outside, that are coming for this entertainment and can't wait. I think we've got about 70 people signed up for lunch, but about half of them are going to be able to stay, and that'll go on as will be more participation outside as we move along. So I didn't put it in here, but we did do we did do 7 clinics here, and they went very well. Thanks to Allie and and the people that came in, also through At Home, which was really good to have that transportation. It was amazing how many people came in through family members and other transport too. I met sons and daughters that I didn't know were even local. So it was nice to see people, talk to them, and actually meet their family. There were, I think I've counted 22 new members that came part of the Mather Center program, that had not ever been in the building before and now are active participants virtually and in the lunch program. So I was given newsletters. So that was a whole nother, again, bonus to having vaccination clinics here, that people got into the building to see the building. So I think that's it. Anybody have any questions?
I want you to know, Beth, that Friday night at 6 o'clock, when the call comes in and we pick it up, then Kathy and I know it's time to start our weekend. So it's a great benchmark to start the weekend. and thanks for that. That works very well.
I'm trying to sign off that way so everybody says now they know it's the weekend. And our residents get called first. Our members get called first too. So yeah, it's getting to be, I don't know if you noticed, Peter, I'm getting more relaxed. So the messages are getting to be a little less stiff. And it really has been helpful, because generally on a Monday when we come in, there's usually on the voicemail about 25 to 30 calls of people that want to sign up for things because of that Friday. And everybody thinks I called them personally. So they'll say, oh, it was so nice of you to call me. They don't realize that went out to 2,000 people. But so it's kind of fun. People are, it's a real way of connecting that I never dreamed of doing in a million years. So, but thank you, Peter.
Awesome. Any other questions for Beth? Hearing none. Thank you, Beth. Back to new business. Anybody got any additional new business to talk about? Hearing none. I thank you all. Can I have a motion to adjourn the April meeting of the Commission on Aging? So move, Peter. Second. Thank you, Francis. And thank you, Jim. All in favor? Aye. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you. Have a wonderful rest of your April. I will see you in May. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.